Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another Mac84 live stream. Where are we? I'm Steve, and welcome to Mac84. The curse already started. You see what you did here, Sean? Can't even speak straight. Well, what else is new? Hello, everyone in the chat. Oh, I got double audio, apparently. Well, let's try and fix that. Maybe. Refresh if you have double audio and tell me if that goes away. Alright, cool. Audio seems to be fine for everyone else. Maybe you have it playing in a tweet or something like that. That happens to me too. Anyway, how's everyone doing here today? Let's see who we have in the chat. We have Bruce of Brankus Creations, who was first, but coming in second was Garth Beagle. Rendino is here. Retro Fox, Dave, Vintage Apple Tech, or Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. It's his Vintage Apple Tech. We also have Patrick Geis. Hello, Patrick. We also have Bill G. Retro Fox is here. Starbuck Tech is here. Steve is here. Brandon's here. Hayden's here. Another Patrick is here. BBS, Bib7? Sure, maybe. Sorry. Jeff Bernard. Big thanks to Jeff Bernard because of Jeff and giving me a Snooper emergency boot disk that is now on Macintosh Garden. That is a unique disk that I've never seen before. It is now on Macintosh Garden. Thank you, Jeff. That has been preserved for everybody else. And David Starbuck is also here. Steve is here, and Last Carbon is here, DJ Craze is here, and Electrical Outlet is here. Might anyone know whether a 2GS upgrade kit motherboard can be installed into the chassis of a Platinum Apple IIe? I think that there... Now, I'm not really an expert with the Apple II stuff, but I think there was a metal cage sled thing you had to buy for the 2E for the 2GS. I'm not sure if that was the same for the Platinum. Not sure. Somebody may know here. If not, the folks at tinkerdifferent.com probably knows. Or if you go to MacFX, they had that, MacFX.net, they did have that case. They might have some instructions there of the compatibility, just to give you an understanding of that sort of thing. But hello all. Lord of Nothing, hello. Trekez, hello. Will, hello. And yeah, so we have a bunch of people here. Excellent. Well, so today we are going to be, hopefully, lifting the curse on this. I know, another one of Sean Action Retro's cursed boards. Ugh. But it's okay. This one is going to a very good home afterwards. I will not reveal that in case Sean does not want me to reveal that, but he asked that I clean this up. So let's take a look at this Color Classic Logic board, and then we'll have to test it once we recap it to make sure everything's okay. But this is a fairly straightforward repair. Well, I guess we are upgrading the capacitors. Nice save. And one of the websites that I always go to for my Macintosh recapping needs is recapamac.com. And I'm going to fail on bringing this up because it didn't want to do it. Oh, that's silly. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. So, there we go. Recapamac.com. Bruce Rain of Brankus Creations has this lovely website. And here it is. You have all your recapping guides you could ever ask for, except for the Macintosh Portable Original. And yeah, we have all the caps here, and you just see what there is. You could even select the links here, and that'll take you right to Mauser. But we have 3 different caps here. We have 6 of the 47 microfarad 16 volt, 2 of the 100 microfarad 6.3 volt, and only 1 of the 10 microfarad 16 volt. So we will be replacing all of those, and then this Color Classic will be happy again, hopefully. Okay, cursed 3D printer filament. I don't have a 3D printer, but sure, why not? Let's see. Yes, Jeff, thank you very much. Very glad that it is preserved. And Sean is here. Let the cursing begin. Now, Sean, do you want me to keep it a secret of where this board is going afterwards, or do we want to build hype? It's up to you. Yeah, so Steve, I'm not sure, but that's a great question. Steve, if you want to re-ask the question in the chat, maybe somebody new joining will know. Otherwise, you can post on tinkerdifferent.com. Someone will probably find the answer for you there. All those caps are the same German 240 volts models. As far as my understanding goes, all of the logic boards, at least in these types of computers, are the same. You don't have to worry about that. You do have to worry about power supplies and analog boards. Those may differ for international type machines, whether it's a switching power supply or not. You know, there's a bunch of different variables there, especially when you go to the compact Macs, the early ones like the 128, 512, and the Plus. You do have to worry about that. However, The logic boards, you don't really have to worry about that because the power supply is sending the power to the machine anyway, so you should be fine. Should. Okay. Oh, it looks like this was for 3D printed filament. Well, who knows? It's cursed anyway. But this has some stuff. So let's open this up. Look at this cursed thing here. Hey, Trina, how's it going? Nick is here, and anybody else I missed? Hello. Okay, so have a note here. Steve, I wonder who this could be addressed to. Let's see what nice thing that Sean wrote in here. It says, Dear Wizard of Caps, aw, you found out my nickname. Here is a very grimy color classic board on its way to a new life. It is not cursed. I take no responsibility for the preceding statement. Good luck, Sean, the waving arms guy. What happened to the waving arms guy? He doesn't wave his arms so good no more. Did he get hurt? Hope he's okay. Well, thank you for the lovely note, Sean. That is awesome. Oh, wavy arms guy. Rip. Okay, so we have our lovely board here. Now, I will tell you, because Sean said it's okay, about where this board is going to. So, Clint of LGR fame on YouTube has a Mystic Classic, and I have recapped those boards for him, and they are all done, and I'm waiting to get those back to him, but Sean very kindly said, look, I have this regular Color Classic board, and Clint was looking for one, and he said, well, if you want to do like a speed comparison test and all this stuff, it'll probably do you good to have a board that you could refer to. And Clint was like, oh yeah, I'd love to have one if anyone has one. And Sean graciously offered this up to him for a very, very low price of me recapping it. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to clean this up, try and make sure it is going to work for the future generation of people who are going to poke and prod at it. And I think Sean said this did work fine, but, you know, it's old. It needs to be recapped anyway. So, there you go. All right, so let's take this out here. And I'm going to put some labels on those modules because I'm sure I will mix those up. Actually, I won't if I put them in the box and away from all of the modules you could see just spread across my desk. Oh boy. It's held together with grime. Well, that's okay. That's to be expected. So I'm going to take this contact cleaner and just fill this whole board with... No, we're not doing that. That would be silly. That would be very silly. All right. Yeah, I think I just waved my face now. Oh, Sean, very good. Very, very good. All right, cool. So we're going to take a look at this under the microscope in a moment. Just take a swig of water here. And Eric is held together by hopes and dreams. Of course. Sad Mac, if I didn't say hello to you, hello. And anybody else I did not say hello to, hello. Welcome to the stream. Now, I'm only going to be streaming for the next hour and 40 minutes-ish or so because it's every other Thursday. That means it's a Mac Yak night. And the Mac Yak guys are yakking, including myself, so I cannot stay too long. Otherwise, they'll kill me. It's in my contract. They can terminate me, which is, you know, very, very scary. But, I mean, I signed it. I signed that contract. All right, so as I waste time and mumble trying to get the microscope view here. Here we go. Excellent. All right. Kate is here. Hello, Kate. How's it going? You had some excellent color classics that Mackie purchased. My goodness, those are pretty cool. Check out Kate's latest video, Macintosh Librarian on YouTube. She did some excellent work on the color classics, some cool stuff. So please check those out. Excellent channel. Make sure you're subscribed. All right. So this is that cursed logic board here. Just catching up on the chat here. I know, famous last words. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at this. Now this will be ultrasonically cleaned, so we're not too concerned about the grime. That cap actually looks okay. We're going to want to replace them anyway, no matter how they look. me adjust the focus here, because you are not getting as sharp of a picture as my eyes are. There we go. And so yeah, we have some crud around this, but nothing too terrible. That looks okay. Yeah, a lot of dirt and grime, as Sean suggested. These are always fun, getting right next to the plastic. And then this wee little guy, which a lot of people like to forget, but that's there. And it's a bit grimy too. We should be okay. What's your opinion on YouTube Shorts? I periodically post them. I just posted one the other day. I think it's fine. I mean, if I'm doing like a short update or something and I don't have time to film something like properly, I can just hold my phone and be like, hey, here's what's going on, like I did with that the dual floppy 512K Mac. I did it. You know, a little short there, but that's not my favorite thing. I don't like that you have to be in portrait mode. I'm a big nut about aspect ratios and how things are watched and stuff. So I think that's a bit silly. I mean, I understand it, but hey, old man yells at cloud. It's just, you know, not my cup of tea. But anyway, just trying to see how much grime is actually on things like this processor slot. My goodness, what kind of curses were you running on this, Sean? I mean, I know you have a channel to do and everything, but putting this in your cat's litter box is not cool. Yeah, that's fun. I'm just kidding you. I know you wouldn't do that to a poor, innocent classic. If you did, Mackie would come after you. All the grime is from me touching it all the time. Of course. Oh, Sean. Now let's just take a note really quick. On the bottom of the board, we have 3 little springy legs. These little dealies here. Now this is important for the audio of the machine. The same goes for the 500 series, the LC Performa 575. Now it is missing one here, but that's okay, because we do have 3 of them out of the 4. That should be fine. But it's just metal that connects from the bottom, and you can see it's actually making contact here on the top of the board. So just something there. Hey, Mike is here. How's it going? Sean's the filthiest guy. No. Live with a van down by the river. Excellent. One thing you also want to note about the Color Classic is the ROM orientation. These ROMs here have have one extra row facing toward this VSLI chip, so toward the center of the board. If you take these ROMs out, like to ultrasonically clean the machine or anything like that, you want to note their orientation. Otherwise, you could screw up the ROMs and the machine itself. So you just want to make a note of that. You want to make sure you're not going to put them as close to this chip as possible. Where the label is, you want to leave one space free. I believe the reason Apple did that was to potentially use other ROMs in the future that had different pinouts and such, but there you go. Hey Tom, how's it going? And Sutek is here. Hello. Awesome. Yeah, Color Classics are great machines. Even the stock ones, I know they're slow. I know Apple released them for a crazy price back in the day, but you know what? From a retro collective perspective, I think they're pretty damn neat. Alright, so let's make sure the hot air gun is plugged in. It is. And make sure we have our flux. We do. As I drop everything all over the place. And, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put some flux on these caps. Just a little bit. And then we're going to come back and put some Kapton tape where we should to protect some of these plastic bits from heat, because things can get really toasty. And we do not want to harm this board any more than Sean has already with his grimy fingers. Of course, I'm kidding. But just want to try and be careful. Now, when I work on any of these boards, I always tell the people that I'm repairing them, look, they're old, they're fragile, plastic could bend, it could melt, it could break, all that fun stuff. However, you need to know about that before I continue, because, hey, things happen. But I always try and be very careful. Okay, sorry, just catching up on here. Fate of Atlantis, great game. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is get some of the Kapton tape, which I put around the hoop of my microscope so I wouldn't lose it, and I almost did still. Shift happened. One of my favorite shirts, and I am in the process of recreating it because I don't think they care. One of the Macworlds I visited, like in 2002 or 2003, there was a shirt by Aladdin Systems that said "SIT happens," S-I-T. Of course, SIT is the compression archive similar to .zip that Mac users were very much used to back in the day. And it said "SIT happens." And I was such a dork. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. So maybe I'll make a sticker or a shirt or something dumb like that. I thought that was hilarious. So I don't think they make that shirt anymore. I wish they did, but I'll make it. And then they'll sue me into oblivion or something like that. And then, you know, you'll get like the concerned grandma in the mall, like, my goodness, your shirt says something terrible on it. Wait, they don't have malls anymore. Never mind. We don't have to be concerned. Brick and mortar is dead. Grandma will not be offended by your shirt. Yes, they still do exist. I think for a period of time they announced that they were like sunsetting a product, but I think it was just like one of their things. I think they still sell a tool that will like unzip and unstuff a lot of things and all that stuff, but stuff. But yeah, that's one of those utilities you really don't need anymore unless you're dorks like us and you play around with the vintage stuff, because there are some file types that will not, oopsie, almost dropped the tape, that will not unzip properly or decompress properly, especially if it's like a .SEA or a self-extracting archive. There's a lot of that stuff that is just too old for modern stuff to care about. And yeah, now I'm going to try and be careful with this label here, but sometimes that gets messed up by the heat, but we're going to try. HQX or bust. Getting fancy with the later compression formats, aren't you, Sean? Someone's a little too modern for me. Huh. My goodness, I had what was it, disk doubler that my dad used on our Macintosh 2CX back in the ye old 90s. My goodness. I was always like, why are all these files have a DD on them? And I had to double click and then they had to do this thing before I could use them. And yeah, it was basically like stuff it. It was, I think it was a Norton product, or maybe they bought it at one point. Yeah, get stuffed. Yeah, see, I didn't really, I had a PC pretty late. I think it was like 97, 98. My mother had to get a PC to do her work at home, so she had the flexibility to do that, which was great. But they went and bought her a laptop, and the whole company switched over to laptops like, I don't know, 3-4 months after we bought the PC. So that PC at home instantly became just the gaming PC for me and my brothers. We loaded it up with so much crap. It didn't even have a 3D card in there. It had like a 3D chipset. I still have that logic board somewhere. But oh my goodness, what a pile of crap that eMachines was. I think it was an eMachines 333E or 333K or something like that. It wasn't one of the never obsolete ones. It was before that shenanigans. Hey, Shoal Fox. Thank you for joining. And One Bit Fever Dreams. I don't know if I said hello to you. Michael's Workshop. Hello. Brian. Hello. IT Leyland. Hello. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, so I need to find the little PCI card brackets that fill my heart with joy. They're somewhere, or I'm stepping on them, which could be very, very close to the truth. Hey, look, an SD card on the ground. I'm glad I didn't break that. That would have been bad. It's not the first time I've snapped a micro SD card in two, but that's a story for another day. My goodness. Yeah, so the whole thing behind these little metal things, and I usually use these PCI card covers because I have a bunch of them, is just to try and prevent heat from touching things you don't want to. Manually decompress them. Semi-interesting story about that. At a company I used to work for, we had a bunch of different files, and they were supposed to send them in a certain format, and we tried to open one, and it wouldn't open, and everyone's like, what the heck is this format? Blah, blah, blah. Turned out it was a tar ball file, and they did not put the extension on it, so Windows had no idea what the heck it was, because Windows don't use resource forks. And yeah, so that was an interesting little thing to figure out. And I told my boss, I'm like, I figured it out. They didn't care. All right, so we're gonna blow these caps off of the thing, huh? Alrighty. Obsolete Techie, hello. The way I snapped a micro SD card in half was I had a dash cam in my car, and I removed the SD card, and it must have went flying. I thought it was in my cup holder, but it wasn't. And it turned out to fall just on the track of where my where the seat can go closer to the steering wheel or back from the steering wheel. It just landed right there, and of course I didn't notice it, so I adjusted the seat for some reason, just cracked it completely in half. Thankfully, it had no data on it, so it was fine. But I was still out of what I think at the time it was a 16 gig card, and I tried to. This is a funny thing. I tried to go through Samsung's warranty because they warrant them like forever. I don't think they would have warranted it in this scenario, but I was an idiot and I tried. And they're like, yeah, you have to mail back like the SD card for us to give you the warranty. And I jumped through this whole process, and I was just like, oh, forget it. Hey, JVHS, how's it going? All right, so we're gonna try and get some of these caps off. Hopefully they come willingly, and hopefully they don't smell too terrible. If so, I blame Sean. But what else is new? Get my little fan going here as well, so I don't breathe in all the fumes, even though they're so delicious. Yeah, well, the NTFS thing, that's a Microsoft patent license thing, and Apple doesn't care enough to do it, and they're third-party software that lets you do it. So as far as Apple's concerned, they don't care. Oh, that one's stinky. Just a wee bit stinky. Now, if you're smart like Bruce, you would use little springs to hold these metal pieces up, but I'm not that smart, so I don't have that setup right here. So that's why I'm sort of adjusting this. And the flowers are still standing. All the plastic looking good. Excellent. Aren't you worried? The continued fumes. I'm fine. I'm in a big open area. I have a little fan. Fume extractor is on the next list of my goodies to get. I just have to get off my lazy butt and order one. But yes, you should definitely be using one. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Alrighty. Fumes are fun. Yes, you could slowly see the cap melting and crying. So this doesn't look too terrible. I mean, it is dirty as anything. That's the worst of it, is the dirt and the grime and the sadness, just a tinge of sadness. The sadness of, oh, how dare me get all grimy. I was trying so hard to be a nice little computer, and then this monster came and dirtied me up. Right, that sounds bad. Yeah. Little fan. I added the sadness myself. I'm glad you noticed. Nothing gets by me, Sean. Nothing gets by me. Unless it's leaving my soldering iron on for like 3 days straight. Nothing gets by me. Speaking of which, let's turn on the soldering iron. Oh, goodness. Making more smells down here. Only of the pleasant variety. Where did that little spool of solder wick go? I think I, like, dropped it the other day, and it went somewhere. Where'd it go? I have a backup one here, but I guess I could use this if needed. It's hiding on my desk somewhere. Or under my desk somewhere. Oh, goodness. Hey! Oh, Orlando, I think the little chip for your SE30 is arriving next week. Or Tuesday or something like that. Of course, it's e-packet from China, so who knows when it's actually going to get here. But they updated the estimated delivery daily. So, there you go. Oh, my Discord. You post something to my Discord. Well, I'm not on the Discord right now, but we'll look at it later. But yes, hopefully that will be able to be flashed correctly and will solve your SE30 video woes. Oh, you know, it helps when the soldering iron is plugged into the electrical. That really helps, you know. Really helps. Also helps if I'm not an idiot and I always check these sorts of things, but what are you gonna do? Alright. Room temperature soldering. Just a few more hours! You wait till a heat wave comes by and you're like, hold on. So I'm just cleaning the pads here because they were so grimy and gunky. No, that's not a break. And there's so much dirt on here, it's going to look like some of these are probably worse than they are. But the cap came off relatively easily, so I'm not too concerned. But knowing that this board is going to be enjoyed by LGR in the future, I want to make sure it'll work for all of those shenanigans. You do, Sean, you do. And please be sure to set those settings so it does not explode. Now, the soldering iron I use is this KSGER or KSGER branded thing. And it works pretty well. It's a good budget-ish device. It's not, you know, going to be as good as the best Hackos or anything like that. But what I liked about this is the tips are interchangeable pretty easily. And it lets you sort of get that premium type soldering experience without breaking the bank. And what I like about the interchangeable tips is it's, you know, you could swap them without waiting for everything to cool down, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to try, I'm going to bend this guy actually. I'm going to try and stick this there. But for those of you who may not know, when I first got the soldering iron, I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to film a little video of me working on it. This is going to be cool. And yeah, mine sort of like almost exploded. It got lava red hot. And yeah, it went to weld mode, as Sad Mac is saying. But apparently there were some safety settings I did not set on that. And basically the OS of the thing froze. The firmware locked up on mine. And there were some things to prevent that from happening. So I made sure I set those. Where do you put the hot tips? That's a very good question. For right now, I have an older soldering iron holder that's a curly metal stem thing, and I just stick them on there, and just gravity kind of holds them there. Not ideal. I have to get a better way to put that there. But yeah, how do I make mine not explode? I think I sent you the tweet, Sean, on I think via text or something like that. In that tweet, there's a video from Voltar who responded, and directly to me. I felt all special, basically telling me, "Do not do this, do this," and I'm like, "Yay, okay." Do not put hot iron. No, I'm not going to put the solder or the iron in my mouth. I'm not going to be like Woz. I like Woz. Just I don't want the. I don't have the health insurance for that. Come on. There we go. I would strongly recommend, Sean, that you just go in to the settings of it and change those two settings. Otherwise, I am not responsible for when the fire department comes and then some weird guy is trying to steal Macs out of your basement. I've seen it before. It's not going to be good. And the guy stealing them is weird, and he does long live streams and generally is a weirdo. So I warned you. Don't say I didn't warn you, because I warns you. Catastrophes are good for social media, right? I'm gonna get so many likes on this, and then your significant other is screaming in the next room, "The house is on fire!" I'm trying to film, be quiet. Sometimes I like to nudge the little edges of where the solder is, just to make sure it is melting. There we go. And sometimes that helps just make sure that that cap is ready to come off. Alright, so I'm going to put this piece of metal here to try and protect against this PDS slot. Doing this one-handed, of course, because as Sean just said, YOLO. Which is, the kids are still saying that, right? They haven't moved on to some other fancy terms that make us old people sound dumber. Alright, now this one I'm going to try and be a little careful with because that label is right there. It's going to screw it up anyway. Every single time I try and save these labels, because it's not really a label, it's just printed on this piece of white. I don't think in this sense it's actually a sticker. But I'm going to try anyway. Metal hot. Fire indeed hot. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I pushed the wrong button. I made the heat go bye-bye. Yes, the label stays, but the text melts off. Well, the number is YS3224U something Y3. And it's probably melting off as we speak. Sorry, Sean. We'll put a new label on there that says like Cursed 1 or something like that. Alrighty. Yeah, see that ink just runs, and the ultrasonic cleaner doesn't do it any favors either, unfortunately. But that's just how it is. Hello, Matthew. How's it going? Alright, so time to clean up these pads and move on to the rest. Well, that sounds like Fungarth. Enjoy. There's so much neat software you could put on the 7200. It's not just a still photo. I swear there's an actual camera up there. I actually went up there this afternoon after lunch because it wasn't hot in the it was so hot in the attic I was an idiot for going up there, but I went up there anyway. And the camera was it was wireless and the quality was terrible. It kept cutting in and out and all this stuff. So I actually put an Ethernet wire up there. So I found a very long wire I was able to run into the attic. And those of you who have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, we suspect there's a little mouse living in the attic, or maybe one or two. Might have friends. So I put a little camera up there just to see. Now this is not the first time I've done that. Those of you who are longtime fans of the channel may remember Mousecam 2018 or 2019 or whenever I had too much free time that I decided to put a camera up there. And I put 2 humane mouse traps up there. One labeled PowerPC and one labeled Intel. And they both had different snacks in there. And I think PowerPC won? I could be mistaken. But it was a whole funny thing. And it was enjoyable. And no mice were harmed. They were all let go. And I'm sure the ones that we let go came back. But how that started was I used to have a leak in the roof of our house. Of course, in the house. And because there was a leak, a little bucket would collect some water once in a while. And I put a camera up there just to see, when it got high enough so we would have to remove the bucket because I couldn't afford a roofer at that time. And, fun things. Owning a home is fun. Anyway, Jay from the House of Moth had nothing better to do and was watching the camera at like 3 a.m. for some reason. And he found a mouse. And he took a screenshot. And he said, look, you have a mouse. And it was the tiniest, babiest, little cutest of a mouse. So there you go. That's the story behind that. So, hopefully we'll see some cute little mice friends. And then we'll let them go into the great abundance of nature. We've got to take this little guy off. This little cap usually comes off pretty quietly. In the middle of nowhere, surrounded by nothing. We should give him a little drinking bowl. I hope they found a new shop. Ba-dum-ba-ch. These mice don't want to work no more. I paid them slave wages, and they don't want to work for their cheese no more. In my hot attic, that is probably 1 billion degrees. Whee! Alright, the board is now capless. The suspect is hatless. I repeat, hatless. Alright, now we're going to clean these pads a little bit. And then we'll put some new caps on. How are we doing for time here? We've only been going 41 minutes. YouTube is telling me now is a good time to insert ads, but I never listen to that anyway. Make sure Jay isn't hiding in the attic again. I'm not driving 50 miles in this economy to release a mouse. Most terrible audio ever. Pibble, yeah, the speakers and monitors usually aren't too good. Yep, I think I know where they're coming in. That's why the camera's up there. So we'll make sure that's neutralized. But I think they're... So, how most roofs are, at least in this area, you can actually see like there's a thin line of where light comes in at the bases of the house. And my wife was pretty sure she saw a mouse like go up the house, like just like a goat, just like just vertically up the house. So there might be a bigger problem there. But anyway, we'll worry about that when we worry about that. It's not like I go up in the attic and lick my fingers, then stick them in my mouth and go, disease. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Delicious cap juice. Now these caps actually didn't smell too terrible, which is good. Well, we have a little bit of an oopsie with the trace there. Probably just weakened away by some cap juice, but that's okay. We'll fix that up. There won't be a problem. Oh yeah, look at the tip of this Q-tip. Nasty. Yeah, no fish smell today. I'm surprised. I'm glad because I just had my dinner and you know I have still a pleasant aroma in the house. I don't want to smell disgusting caps instead. No, thank you. But don't you love the smell? No, I do not. Now this egret chip here is very important. It is important on all of the machines it's in, also known as the CUDA chip. It is responsible for making the Macs start up and all this good stuff. So sometimes you might get crud or anything under or in that chip. You just want to be very careful about that, especially because it's next to this capacitor. And on the Classic 2, it's next to like 4 capacitors. So you got to be very careful on that. But this will be ultrasonically clean, so if there is any crud there, hopefully that will neutralize it. Get that out of there. The grease is coming off. Well, don't worry. I'm going to bottle the grease. And the reason I kept these capacitors here was because we could bottle the grease and we could sell the capacitors to the highest bidder. I mean, these are authentic Action Retro capacitors. His blood, sweat, and or tears were baked into them. Start the bidding at 5 million. You know what? 4 million. I'll be gracious. So just scrolling up. Yes, don't worry, Matthew. I will consider that. We have other things to tackle in this house, but yeah, really, I don't see evidence of mice droppings or anything like that. I heard one last night, and it was above my office, so it's probably just like one. I don't know. We'll find out. Yes, steel wool and caulk. That's what I've heard. So that's what I will probably end up doing. I wonder why there's that open space. I don't know if it's for ventilation or like vacuum space or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, when we had our cat, that was enough of a smell to. We never really heard or saw anything, but unfortunately, our cat passed, not too long ago. So, yeah. This is a Macintosh Color Classic Logic board. Okay. Alright, so we cleaned up some areas. Yeah, there's a lot of gunk and hair and disgustingly looking stuff. I mean, Sean, what were you doing with this? Oh, that's right. This was in his cat's litter box. I'm sorry. I forgot the lore we just made up. Oh yeah, that's great. I should be wearing gloves. I mean, just in that spot alone, got some good crud there. But Rudy's Retro Intel, Eep, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Very much appreciate the super chat. The donations and support go right back into the channel, whether it's me purchasing cursed machines from eBay or putting together fun little things like stickers and badges and things. I will be attending VCF Midwest, and I just ordered a bunch of new stickers and stuff. So if you happen to be in Elmhurst, Illinois, next month in early September, go to VCFED. Actually, no, VCFMW.org for more information on that. But, yeah, if you will be there, I will be there. A bunch of my dorky friends will be there. I believe Sean is going to be there, too. Ron of Ron's Computer Videos, Joe of Joe's Computer Museum, Tom of Tom's Thing will also be there. So there's going to be a bunch of us hanging around, palling around. Eric will be there, I think, too. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And, yeah, it'll be a blast. So hope to see you there. And you could check out some stickers. Be giving away some stickers. That'll be fun. That's my watch yelling at me for. Stand up. I'm recapping. I can't stand up. You silly watch. Telling me to stand up while I'm recapping. Ridiculous. Kai Robinson is here. Hello, hello. Sorry. Buy another pack of Q-tips after this. Oh, thank you very much, One Bit Fever Dreams. I will do that. Thank you. I just put this on Do Not Disturb. What the hell is this crap? Whenever I'm doing something, that's when everyone tries to contact me. Oh, I didn't press like for the time period. Lou also says hello. Well, hello, Lou. Thank you for letting Kai's brain be at our disposal day and night. Alright, so this one hopefully will be pretty straightforward. We're going to put some caps on there. So, we have to get our bags of capacitors. Now, these capacitors are the ones I am currently using. The part number is T491C476K0168T. And the reason I use these is they are a bit smaller than the ones I usually use, or I used to use rather. And we're going to need about 6 of them, but that makes it just a little bit easier when replacing these, and I'll tell you why. Let me take these out of the package, all 6 of them, and I'll show you. That is excellent, Kai, and congrats on the job. Well done, sir. Well deserved, I'm sure. They should be paying you 3 times as much, 4 times as much. They'll just pay you all the money. Just all the money. That's a bit better. I have a lab. Color me jealous. I'm in your neck of the woods. I'm going there with a bunch of problematic things. Oh, goodness. And Garth will also be at VCF Midwest. There's so many people going. I can't even remember anymore. My goodness. Sorry, I'm missing some of the chat too. Let me scroll up. And eep for you, One Bit Fever Dreams. If I didn't eep you, I'm sorry. I might have got distracted. Buy me one of everything. Rudy. I wish I could. I wish. The other famous Eric. I love that little emoji Kate with a little cat in the box. Freaking adorable. Ooh, Kate. That'll be fun. Come on. Come on. We'll save you a spot next to Ron's table. Mackie could take it over. Ooh, there's a parcel on its way to me. You've threatened this before, and I've forgotten about it. But thank you very much, Kai. I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, the US is a bit silly, but then you have to pay for a lot of other crap. So, what am I doing? I'm putting... I wanted to show you the size of things first. Yeah, so let's show you the size of these caps. So these are the ones I just mentioned. And you'll see the reason why, once I move the microscope, the reason why I suggest using these, especially for people who are new to this, is because you get so much more room on either side of the pad. There, if you could actually see the darn thing. The caps I used to use were probably like from there to there. So you would have very little wiggle room to actually get the capacitor to stay on. And it would drive me crazy because sometimes they'd be like, oh, it's so easy. And then other times you'd get a situation like this where there's components to the right and left, or here it's even tighter. It's like, come on. So Made the decision to find out if there were smaller capacitors. There were, and I ordered a bunch. And those are pretty much what I've been using exclusively, just because it's so darn easy. I don't know the exact size. I will type in the model number, Kai, and you could educate me. I think they are. I think, for some reason, that's ringing a bell. But T491C47. Well, the C is in there, so probably. 6K0168T. Oh, gotta answer this call. 1 second. Back. Sorry about that. Okay, 60 by 32 package. Yes, mushy mushy. It was a capacitor police. They were a few millimeters wider. I got a good deal on these and bought them. That's just what I did. So yeah, I mean, these aren't the caps you have to use. These are just the ones that I was able to buy, especially with the way components have been recently. I had to buy these in bulk, and they came in like multiple shipments. And so these are just the ones I'm not saying they're the perfect one, but I'm just saying you might want to be aware of the size of the capacitors while you're ordering them for a project, especially if you're a beginner, and you might not have, a lot of wiggle room on the board. So there you go. It is his attic. Yes, my car's extended warranty. The car that has never had a warranty on it in my lifetime. Yeah, we had a landline at my parents' house, and the only person that would call would be like my grandma, and the rest was spam. That was like, it's just the spam line. And I think there's so many people, at least in the U.S., that have the same problem. You know, they had a landline, a select few people call them on that line, and they don't want to get rid of it, and now it's just spam, 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 spam. Sorry, just catching up on the chat here. Capacitor, Federal Bureau of Capacitor Alignment. Well, thank you, Kai. Yes, I think the C size is pretty good. That's why I prefer it. The best solderer on YouTube. Oh, Jeffrey. I know that's not true, but I will take that. Thank you. At least the best in New Jersey. Maybe? Oh, boy. Will Sean be doing more K-Pro videos? Is the Space Pope reptilian? I think so. What's a landline? Are you high? Maybe. Okay, there we go. Ooh, 500 fiber. That's nice. That's real nice. That's faster than what I got here. Although I will say, if my previous cable provider actually gave me the speeds that I was paying for, I would have probably never switched. Because the cable provider I was getting like 200 down. I was supposed to get 40 up. I hardly ever got 20 up. Hardly ever. It was usually around like 5 or 10. It was terrible. So if you remember way back when, if you were a fan of the channel back then, sometimes the stream quality would just dip, be obliterated, and just be terrible. And I'd have to stop stream sometimes because it was just so horrible. But thankfully that's not the case anymore. I have a fiber connection. Really have not had a lick of a issue with it. And yeah, happy as a freaking clam. I'm also paying less. So screw that. Stupid cable companies. You know, they have the goal to lie to you because they don't care. They obviously don't care. But I remember calling up before I had the speed problems. They raised my rate after a promotion, and they weren't supposed to do it at that time, so I got really upset with them. And the guy on the other line is trying to play it cool, and he's like, "Sir, so I don't know how this is happening, but it looks like you're not paying taxes on your cable bill, so I think you're actually paying lower than everyone else. No, you're not. I don't know how this is going on, but you're not paying taxes on your cable internet bill." And I said, "Oh, that's nice. I know exactly why I'm not paying taxes. Because it's actually illegal to be taxed in the state of New Jersey and most states in the United States, I believe, if you just have internet. If you have cable, there are taxes. Just for the internet, there are no taxes on that. So I'd like to speak to your manager, please, and tell him about the deceptive practices that you're, you know, spewing at me." He did not like that. "Oh, sir, I wasn't trying to. I'm new here, but yeah, sure you are. I'd like to speak to your manager, please." Manager probably didn't care. Manager's probably the one that put him up to it. Still made me feel better calling out his crap. It's the little things in life, treasure. Yes, cable companies do care about the monies. Hello, Elite Prime. Thank you very much for joining. Just reading up on the chat here. Plex server will be unstoppable. Nice. Assuming I can afford electricity. You want some X serves, Kai? How about some G5s? Oh, goodness. Oh, Dave, I did not know about the freezing part, but the odometer only goes up to, yeah, I knew that part, but it freezes at reading and the EEPROM needs to be reflashed to fix the problem. Dave, I didn't know that. Well, thankfully I have an EEPROM flasher programmer, but I'm at least 140,000 miles away from that, so remind me then. Yes, the Internet Tax Freedom Act. There you go, Jay. He knows the deal. Oh, gosh. Yeah, Joe, I remember that. AOL would not cancel for the life of you. My poor aunt tried to call up and cancel AOL, and they were like, "Oh, well, we'll just pause it, and then when you know, you want it again," she's like, "No, I have cable. I don't need this." "Oh, what about your email? I have a different email address." "What about your instant messenger? I don't use that." And they actually looked in, they have all your information. So they looked into the usage history. "Oh, well, you have this many emails. You're doing this, you're doing that." But this was around the time when people figured out that you could actually retain your AOL email address. You're just, stopping for the service part because, they make money on ads and crap. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things that she had to actually say she was getting rid of the computer. That she was no longer going to have the computer in order for them to let her get rid of the stupid service that are fine. How dumb is that? That was like when I was trying to cancel the cable stuff around here. I had to tell them that I got service discounted through my employer or whatever. And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes, disconnect." And I had to tell some guy that, and then they had to put me to some other guy and had to repeat everything. I'm like, "What do you care? Just stop." I'm not paying for your crap anymore. Oh, goodness. All right, so we have 3 more caps to put on the board. This is a relatively straightforward one. So let me pull those out of here. Make sure we get those. I thought I put the bag on the table. I guess I did not. Yeah, here they are. So these are 10 microfarads, 16 volts. These are also of the C size, I believe. So we only need 1 of these, thanks to the very handy guide by Brankus Creations, recapamac.com. If you have a Mac to recap, go to recapamac.com. Oh, Jeffrey, ouch. Oh, yes, Jay. I'm sure those fees and stuff were worked into the final price. They're just being sneaky, sneaky as a sneaky does. But yeah. Now this capacitor pad is much smaller. This one should just about fit. Not the coolest, but it'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, you're getting screwed either way. They'll find other ways to screw you. It's the American way. Please, Steve, tell us how you really feel. So there's a bit of the copper worn away there. So I'm just going to do that. Just to get that out of there. And I should use my tweezers so I don't burn my fingers. Yes, the South Park episode about cable companies. They did an excellent job on that one. I do not have a subscription to any cable TV service. You know, we have like the, streaming stuff, but not a cable service. Which, it's probably almost just as expensive when you add up all those services, but we don't subscribe to it. We're not that fancy. I got a letter in the mail today that my electric company says that I'm using more electricity than most of the houses in my neighborhood. Like, that's nice. There's no way I could have changed that. I already have an efficient air conditioner and all this stuff. No way I could have changed that. But thank you for sending me a letter in the mail shunning me and shaming me. Oh, goodness. Hey, KHBSD, how's it going? David asks about nuking his 5.1 Mac Pro, reinstalling the OS. Yeah, I think Mojave you should be fine with if you have a metal card. Or you might have to start with High Sierra. I forget. No, 5.1's? Yeah, I forget. It's either High Sierra or Mojave. But maybe Jake could answer your question, David. He's smarter with that stuff. I'm dumb. Recapping videos is a TV service. Yes, this is the channel. Well, thankfully there's more electricity to go around, but I really am pretty stingy on my electricity. If I'm not using something, it gets turned off. Especially the Mac Pro down here that I use for streaming. Because it's a bit of a power hog. It gets turned off when it's not in use. There's no reason to leave it on. I used to have a server that was run by Mac Pro that is being replaced by Mac Mini. And I have some funds. Mike of Mike's Mac Shack very kindly sold me a Mac Mini of his. So that is going to be replacing the old Mac Pro tower I have. I do have some X-Serves, but they turn on a schedule. So they don't even turn on every day. So they're on a schedule. They turn on. The other machines see them. They back up to them. And then they shut off. But I really try and be conscious of that because electricity is very pricey where we are. And just one of those things to try and reduce not only the environmental stuff, but like I don't want to be paying all that crap each month. No, thank you. I have other stuff to waste money on. Well, it's legal here, Rudy, but no, the answer is no. It's not that ridiculously high, just the air conditioning has been on non-stop because of this terrible weather. We've been having like 90-degree days, or feels like 100-degree days, for like 3 or 4 weeks straight. So the air conditioner hardly ever turns off. Even at night, it's so humid. So, yeah, that'll do it for sure. Even though our air conditioning unit is only like a year or two old, it's brand freaking new. Very efficient, but yeah. Adam! Adam is driving in Florida. He's gonna get into an accident by swerving off the road because he's listening to this idiot sing a song. Hey Adam, safe travels. Hope you're doing well. Don't text and drive. Oh, goodness. We do not have switches at the outlet, Kai. We do have GFIC outlets that could act as a switch, I suppose, but did not know they ran the inverter circuit while not in use. Huh? Slow, small, consistent drain. Oof, Kai, ouch. Yeah, I'm one of those people that needs the air conditioning, or I'll die. Alrighty, everyone's saying hello to you in the chat, Adam. Since you can't see it because you're driving, I assume you're driving, or you're running, or you're in a plane, flying very low. Maybe it's best we don't know. But alright, it's time for the last two capacitors. It's also time to play the game of where did I put the capacitors? So that's always a fun game. No worries, Rudy. See you later. Thank you very much for the super chat, and take care. Yep, there they are. It's nice when you find them right away. Alright. So I need two 6.3 microfarad, 100 microfarad 6.3 volts. These are the chunky ones. These are bigger. I thought I had some more of the small ones. I guess not. Maybe I used them all up. These are the very small ones. No, I have... Well, those are 6 volts. I know I ordered more, so... I don't want to put mismatching ones on this, because then it would look terrible. So let's compare the size of the caps, just for funsies here. And this will sort of go along with what I was saying before about the capacitor sizes. Because these are type B, maybe? Or A, I don't know. And these ones are type A. Maybe? I don't know. Kai knows. So Kai is going to be like, just show me them already. Don't even guess. Just bow down to my superior brain. Narf! Alright. So, let's put them all in the microscope here and switch over to the view so you can see. So, this is the capacitor size that I've been using. To the left is the bigger size that I would recommend staying away from if you're brand new, because they could be a bit of a hindrance. And this is the teeny tiny baby little tiny size. Look how tiny that is. About half the size of that. Very good for little close quarters and things like that. Narf. And so, for example, I'm going to put this big cap over the pad over here, and you'll see that it is it's not too terrible. Actually, I might actually just use these. But for this case, they're fine. But for some of the smaller areas like this, that's going to cover the pads. You're going to have a bad time if you're trying to do that. So, see, look, Kai just knows. It just comes out of his brain. If there was a test about capacitors, I would be like, hey, Kai, I have the answers. I'm just smart enough to kind of know what I'm doing. Just kind of. Just kind of. I might have more Macs than that makeup company. What? Oh, boy. Gonna have a bad time. Alright, so let's finish this up here. We have 2 pads. And let's put some capacitors on them so they're not sad and lonely. And then we're going to probably wrap it up after we test this, because Mac84 is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be on the show, of course, along with the usual gang of yackers. If you're not subscribed to Mac84, don't know why you're not, but please subscribe. Now, what's tricky about these caps is they face each other. And I should have probably fixed that up. It's just a wee bit of a little... Yeah, I'll just put some solder on it. That'll be fine. Be fine. Nobody will see it. It'll be a nice identification mark. There. It'll be fine. Be fine. Shh. Don't tell anybody. But yeah, Mac84 is tonight. So we have a show of fun planned for you all. So please join us if you can. I know, Kai, it's probably going to be too late for you, but that's okay. This reminds me, I have to order another soldering iron tip because I know this one will go eventually, and I don't want to be in the situation of where I don't have a usable tip for these projects. I do have different sizes, but I really prefer this one. And what size tip is that, you may say, Stephen? I think it's a T12 BC7 or something like that. I don't know, Sean may know. I texted him because he asked me. I had to look it up. I'm not about to take it out on the channel right now, but oops. I goofed that one up. Well, you can't see it. Hold on. Yeah, my microscope view is a little bit different than what the camera sees, so apologies. Let's adjust that. And my tweezers are hitting into the top of the microscope, so I'm not being able to get a good feel for this. Let me just move the microscope and just do this with my own eyes. Let me look on you with my own eyes. Sometimes it could be very tricky to get into these small spots, and the microscope is great. I love it, but it's also directly over where the soldering iron has to go. So sometimes it's just one of those things where it's a little bit easier to do it without. Sometimes. Alright, now we can take a look and see what we did. We could use some more solder there. Actually steal some from yonder. And just go bloop. We need more flux there. That's what happened. We ran out of flux. Weren't fluxing enough. Probably too much dirt and grime in that area. Something like that. There we go. Now it's happier. Yay! Alright, now we can look at the chat here. Bruce is back after abandoning us with his work and such. Hey Bruce, how's it going? I know, Matthew. I'm like, huh? No flux, give it. That's a t-shirt, Kai. You have to make that t-shirt now. I don't give no flux. Alright, so hopefully we're all good here. With this little cursed color classic board that Sean has sent us. And again, this lovely board, assuming it works properly, will be going to Clint of LGR Frame. Wow, fame. Well, fitting. He used to, I think, work at a framing store, so frame is not too far off. But, oh goodness, I worked myself into a thing there. Yeah, Clint has some color classics with some Mystic upgrades. I have worked on those boards for him. And the thing that was holding me back from mailing those back was I had to recap this, and I completely forgot about it because life And so I wanted to make sure I cleaned this board up and got that to him, etc., etc. That's right, Bruce, you just missed the big plug I gave MacYak like 30 seconds before you joined. But that's a good reminder. MacYak is going to happen in about 40 minutes or so. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the Color Classic. We're going to grab a blue SCSI. We're going to hope I have the right enabler for this system to boot it up. If not, we'll probably faff about trying to figure that out for a little bit. Whee! All right. Excellent. So let's switch to this camera. Squeak! Sorry. I have to put some WD-40 on that again. Use the two memory modules from Sean. Video memory modules, rather. These video memory? I always forget. They always look like standard memory. It's gonna drive me crazy. It always drives me nuts with these machines. I always get them mixed up with the other ones. And by the time I open up Mac Tracker and the delay on YouTube and everyone will be yelling at me in the comments of, no, there's such and such a big dum-dum. Then, you know, where the heck is the window? I clicked on the app. It bounced. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, we have 2 memory slots. And there's 4 megabytes of built-in memory. And we might need a VRAM sim. I don't know. Sean included 2 memory modules, but I'm not sure about the video memory situation here. We'll figure that out. I think we need VRAM for the Color Classic. Wow, I'm bad at this. All right, let me go grab the Color Classic. We'll be back in just a moment. I have to grab it out of its secret hiding place, and then we'll resume. Sorry to disrupt the dance party, but we're back. All right, cool. I have a few questions. I brought a book at the flea market this past weekend. It's from Q Books and says Easy iMac in full color. It's a good book. Oh, it's probably like how to use iMac, etc. Might be for a G3, G4. Depends on what the picture is. But some of those books are pretty good. They give you some good concepts and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty neat. Documentation and books, always a good thing. So these are the... one almost fell in the trash. These are the two memory modules that Sean had included in his Color Classic, which I was looking at it and I'm like, that kind of seems like it's for, just the standard memory for like Mac 2 or whatever. But it says VRAM. Now I'm used to VRAM looking like this with the two chips. Some nice satanic Mac Club VRAM here. Thank you, Drake. But used to them looking like this. So when they look more like regular memory, it sort of trips me up there. Pretty sure these will work too. Oh, so yeah, then that's the VRAM and that's the regular. I forget. I'm pretty sure the memory is 2 slots. I'm gonna check Mac Tracker again. Check Mac Tracker again because I am so... Yeah, memory slots 2. Okay, I was correct. All right, these are regular memory modules. So I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Yeah, so on the 575, it's the other way around, I believe. You have 1 slot for memory, 2 slots for video memory. That's what I believe the confusion is. Hopefully this satanic Mac Club memory can be used on a Color Classic. I don't see why it wouldn't be able to. Learn how to RAM. I know. Make some new ones. Ah, yes, I saw that, Kai. It's very cool. Just gonna clean up this module because there's a lot of flux and crap on it. So I'm pretty sure we need the video memory to get any video out of the Color Classic. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, arcing flyback on a CRT is not a lot of fun, unfortunately. But, the iMacs, unfortunately, it's just one of those things. There's so many of them. It doesn't really pay to fix it. Just get parts from another one. That's probably why I have, like, 30 of those iMacs. Alright, well, if this VRAM module blows up, I am blaming Drake. And that's okay. He's used to it. Hi, Drake. Alright, so we have the Color Classic on the bench here. Bonk. Sean, are you ready? Are you ready to see if I killed your baby? Oh, it's a heavy guy. Now, this is a fun machine because this will only work when... well, it works, but it's a little finicky. The case sometimes makes it whine, which is fun. Extends the memory ceiling on the LC3 and derivative systems 68 megabytes. Are you kidding me, Kai? That's fantastic. Wow. Yeah, make it LC3 usable. I am. Kai, could you link me that on Discord if you have a free hand? That'll be awesome. I want to read about that. I'm putting a PRAM battery in. Just sometimes these machines prefer it, but. Here's the board. We're sliding it back in here. Don't worry, Sean. I've deleted all of those files that said, warning, do not read. I read them, and I deleted them. Oh, is the power cable for the hard drive was getting in the way there. All right. There we go. Okay. Boy. Thank you, Kai. I will open that up. Sweet. All right, let me sit up a little bit. Oh, they have a whole. I'll take a look at that after we test this, because otherwise I'm going to be ignoring everybody. All right, and we will need a keyboard and a little mouse for this. So let's plug this in. I'll get you a better view of this in a second, folks. Because the Color Classics use what is called soft power. So you do need a keyboard to turn these systems on. A lot of people will sell them as is. I don't know what's going on. I can't turn it on. I flip the switch. Nothing happens. They are soft power. They need a keyboard to power on. I'm sure someone very smart can create a little doohickey that would replace the need for that just for testing purposes, but might as well just grab a keyboard if you're going to be dealing with these machines. Most people have them. Because most people are crazy like us. And they have like 8 billion of these machines if you're going to be tinkering with them. Alright, we're going to switch to the above cam so I can move the camera to look at the machine itself. Pardon my extremely messy desk. Ooh, Kai. What's if it wasn't for the 0.2 millimeter difference, I would get one of those and shove it into that cursed Mac I have. But I will probably take you up on that if you didn't already ship out that parcel to me. Because I need another obsolete format, like I need a hole in the head, but you know me. Bring it on. Hey look, Mom, in the classic. Hi. Okay, cool. So we're going to plug this in. And before we plug in the blue SCSI, I'm just going to make sure the machine turns on and gives us a healthy chime. 3, 2, 1. Yay! It chimed. Now, I think Sean said this was working previously, but always nice to make sure things work when you boot them up. Ooh! I don't think it likes the VRAM. I didn't test this VRAM, so yeah, that could be a problem. Oh boy. Well, I made a few sticks of them, so I'm going to swap that out. Because it could totally beat just a bad trace or something for me on that VRAM module. I did not test these after I made them because that's just how I am. I'm a terrible person. But, I left the machine on while I ripped the board out. I'm sorry. I'm like, what was that flip, flip, flip noise coming from? Poor little classic. I'm sorry. Elbow cam. Just cleaning this module off because it's been sitting on my desk where all the flux lives. Oh, thank you very much, Orlando. That is in a box on the other side of the basement so I don't get it confused with other projects, but if I have to, I will resort to that. Thank you very much. But also a good way just to test if this stuff actually works. If not, I'm gonna have some choice words with. Oh, I could boot without it. What am I thinking, Bruce? I thought you needed. Oh, is it the 575 you need the VRAM? I don't know. I'm clearly an idiot. I say in the best Canadian computer collector impersonation voice I can. No matter how many times I work on these machines, there's always something you could easily forget. And that's okay. That's why we're all here shouting at each other. Alright, let's try this again. Yay! Now, if it's still screwed up, I blame Sean. Starting to look okay. Yay! We got the cursor. Yay! And then we're just going to wait for the little floppy guy to come up here. And I don't know what version of the operating system I have on this blue SCSI card, so I'm going to plug this into my Mac. I'm going to check that real quick. I have a cord here that my face is blocking. Here we go. Conversate your time. Alright. And let's move that over there. Let's open up this. Alright, that's system 7.5. That's for the 2VX. We don't want that one. I have a blue SCSI image specifically for this system. Gotta hurry it up, Steve. Mac84 is gonna be starting soon. My goodness. How inconsiderate. That's for the Classic 2. I really thought I had one for the Color Classic. Wow, I'm an idiot. Unless I just moved them. Oh, you know what? I moved them to the other disk here because I was running out of startup space. Because I'm a terrible person. That's for PowerPC. That's system 7.1. I'll have to check my system enabler thingamajig. That's the thing I just need like pasted on the wall here. Because certain versions of the system software, you need different system enablers. So for the Color Classic, do you need one depending on the OS? Let's see. Yeah, the Color Classic, you need system enabler 401. But is that just for system 7.1? Yeah, system 7.1. Okay. So I should be fine with 7.5 then, I think. Alright, so let's copy this one over to our SD card. Yeah, I have a blue SCSI image that was made for a Color Classic. I just don't know where it is right now. And since Mac84 is coming up, and it's going to take us 5 minutes to copy this 2 GB disk image. Why did I make that so big? Actually, wait, there's already a 7.5 one on here. Let's just try this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's just try this. You really need to sleep now. That's okay, Francois. Thank you very much for joining. Take care. Oh, we also have a boot up disk. What the hell am I? We have some boot floppies here, too. Well, we're going to try this real quick. I'm going to shut off the Mac. You do not want to hot plug SCSI. You're going to have a bad time. You're going to hurt your Mac. All right. Alrighty, and let me grab, that's the wrong boot disk. There's another yellow disk I have here. Well, I thought I did. I have 2 yellow disks. One is Disk Tools 1 and Disk Tools 2. This is obviously not the right one. It's for PowerPC. Let's see if this blue SCSI wants to work. Says the person who hot plugged the entire motherboard. That was a mistake. In my defense, that was a mistake. We're just going to put the blue SCSI sticker on here, and it's going to make it all better. There we go. We're booting. Look how happy it is. Adjust the camera just a wee bit. You don't have as much glare. How about that? That's a happy Mac. Yeah, Eric, some of those iBooks have issues with those cables. I might have a spare one depending on the year and the model of the iBook, Eric. So why don't you send me a Discord chat or a DM or something like that? I might have a spare cable. I'm not sure. I used to have a bunch of those things. Sean's YouTube videos are the best part of my Saturdays. Oh, best part of my Saturdays is watching cartoons and eating cereal. And yes, I am 10 years old. Looking to make some new of those iBook cables. Excellent. Rebuilding the desktop. This may take a while. When are you fixing the 512K floppy drives? Well, I did a stream of that just the other day, Thomas. I'm waiting for some gears to arrive in the mail. But if it wasn't for Mac84, put that on the bench and rip those off and take a look now, but not gonna do that just this moment. But there will be more of that silly Mac coming. No rust this time. As long as there's no rust, Jeremy, and you think I could actually use it, I would be happy to accept something. Yeah, you can tell me what it is too, and I can tell you if I have it already, because I have a lot of crap. But all right, so we have 10 whole megabytes of memory, which I believe is the limit on the Classic. Is that correct? Yeah, so we have system software using up 2.6 megabytes. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to close that. We are running Macintosh System 7.5.3. And this disk image was originally made for Macintosh 2VX, but there you have it. Let's see what applications I have on here. Probably nothing. A fume extractor? Well, that's awfully kind of you. Well, why don't we talk on Discord or something? We could chat about that. And a mostly working 386 laptop. I don't know what I could do with that. But that sounds exciting. Alright, so we have Mac Check, which is Apple's diagnostic software. We also have Tattletech, which I'm going to use. That gives us a little better of a visual here. And it confirms the hardware of our machine, the 16 MHz 68030 processor. Blazing fast, and that's why, of course I'm being ironic, that is why people shove new logic boards into these machines, because they are not the fastest. So yeah, there we go. Gonna close that. And we're gonna shut this down because we're all working well, which is excellent. Alright. If I could get the cursor to move, I have to clean the bottom of this mouse. Excellent. Let's just move over to that so you don't get as much of a puke cam, even though you can see this camera in the corner, as I take the tripod mount off of it and put it back into the little holder thing so I could say what I want to say. Oh, come on. Here we go. It's blurry. It's always going to be blurry. Oh, goodness. All right. So, we got the Color Classic all fixed up. It was cursed. Now it's slightly less cursed. We still have to clean it because there's grime stuff all over the board. But it boots. It's happy. It chimes. I do have to test the VRAM module that I soldered up. I probably made it oopsie. Actually, I could probably see the oopsie I made. So, I'm going to fix that up. But there you go. So thank you very much, Sean, for sending this my way. It is going to be sent to Clint of LGR. He has 2 LC575 boards I'm sending him. This is going to be included too, so you can do all sorts of video goodness on that. MacYac is coming up in just 16, 17 minutes, something like that. So click on the link that Bruce is sharing there. Please subscribe to MacYac. It's myself, Bruce of Brankus Creations, Jay from the House of Walt, Mike from Mike's Mac Shack, GT, Grudy sometimes comes, but then he forgets. Dana, just come, have fun. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be geeks, and you have your dinner or something while you watch. So I'm going to give you some time back. Use the bathroom, get a snack before you go watch MacYac. And thank you very much for watching. We will stream again sometime soon. Anybody who gave me a like or subscribed to the channel or gave me a super chat, very much appreciative. Thank you. I also have a Patreon, Mac84 TV. Mac84 is the name if you search on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Mac84. It's in the description if you want to support me. Everyone who is a patron, thank you so much. I know a lot of you are here today. Really appreciate it. It helps. And that's about it for now. We'll have more repairs soon. But see you guys real soon as I stumble to remember where the end stream button is. Oh, they're going to make a clip out of this and shame me on MacYac. But anyway, see you guys. Bye.